right, 10th grade, y'all are back. Hopefully you have written your response for Tonight I Can Write by Pablo Neruda. So again, that was his earlier work. Now we are going to read an example of his later work when he's definitely moved into his realistic phase and he's writing about everyday objects. Okay, so you read along with me as I read aloud. Maru Mori bought me. Let me restart. Maru Mori brought me a pair of socks that she knit with her shepherd's hands. 2 socks as soft as rabbit fur. I thrust my feet inside them as if they were 2 little boxes knit from threads of sunset and sheepskin. My feet were 2 woolen fish in those outrageous socks, 2 gangly navy blue sharks impaled on a golden thread, 2 giant blackbirds, 2 cannons. Thus were my feet honored by those heavenly socks. They were so beautiful, I found my feet unlovable for the very first time, like 2 crusty old firemen unworthy of that embroidered fire, those incandescent socks. Nevertheless, I fought the sharp temptation to put them away the way schoolboys put fireflies in a bottle, the way scholars hoard Holy Writ. I fought the mad urge to lock them in a golden cage and feed them bird seed and morsels of pink melon every day, like jungle explorers who deliver a young deer of the rarest species to the roasting spit, then wolf it down in shame. I stretched my feet forward and pulled on those gorgeous socks, and over them my shoes. So this is the moral of my ode. Beauty is beauty twice over, and good things are doubly good when you're talking about a pair of wool socks in the dead of winter. So again, this is, I didn't think I'd read the title, Ode to a Pair of Socks. So we got the realist, but it's still beautiful. All right? I would say that some of the, especially if we look at some of the imagery here, again, we're talking about socks, but we're also 2 gangly navy blue sharks impaled on a golden thread, 2 giant blackbirds, 2 cannons. Okay, that's pretty, dramatic imagery. He compares his feet. I found my feet unlovable for the very first time, like 2 crusty old firemen unworthy of that embroidered fire, those incandescent socks. Okay. So then what I really like is he goes in, you're reading along around line 50, and when he says, nevertheless, I fought the sharp temptation to put them away the way schoolboys put fireflies in a bottle, the way scholars hoard Holy Writ. I fought the mad urge to lock them in a golden cage and feed them birdseed and morsels of pink melon every day. So I really like this because I think there is, have you guys ever gotten something that's so special and so wonderful that like you just put it away and you don't want to use it? Maybe it's, I don't know, really awesome shoes that you're like, I worked really hard, they're gorgeous, but I don't actually want to get them dirty. So I'm just going to put them away so I can look at them. And like, that's awesome because they'll always look perfect, but they're shoes. Like they were supposed to be used. There's all sorts of stuff that people use this for. Some people do it with pens. Like I've got this pretty pen and paper, but I'm not going to use it. Or, God, there's so much stuff. Like silverware or china, that used to be a big thing. You had fancy plates to use for people, but you can't eat like normal food off of it. Like it's only for visitors. And he's saying in this poem that even though these socks are obviously fabulous, they're soft as rabbit fur, from threads of sunset and sheepskin. So obviously they're very bright and colorful, which means I would love them. And they're they're obviously really great socks. So he's got the urge to put them away and not use them. But that's defeating the purpose of socks, okay? So when he says, this is the moral of my ode, this is kind of like our theme. This is what we're supposed to learn. Beauty is beauty twice over, and good things are doubly good when you're talking about a pair of wool socks in the dead of winter, okay? So, if I'm not saying just about the socks, the moral of my ode, beauty is beauty twice over, and good things are doubly good. It means use them, okay? Things will be just as beautiful, if not more so, and just as good, if not more so, if you actually use things for what they need to be. So my question for this would be, not going to make you write a poem, but not a whole poem. I want you to identify maybe some everyday items you have. Maybe you do have some really fabulous socks. Maybe you don't. Maybe you've got great shoes, great clothes. You have, well, I'm thinking like books. Anything that's really special, but it's kind of like an everyday item. And I want you to describe it in the comments, or if I make a Google Doc, but try and see it in a different way. Okay? So, I'm trying to think, if I was writing about my yellow notepad. Okay? Obviously, this is a very everyday notepad. Okay? But what if I described it as a flat expanse of canary yellow with blue rivers that run across to keep my writing nice and straight, like soldiers in a line, like little bird feet, scritch scratch, as they walk over the golden lawn, yellow as buttercups and dandelions, walking the blue path lines. That's an everyday object. And high five myself, because I literally just pulled that out of my brain right this second. Pulled it out of my bag too. Okay, so you guys identify an everyday object, something super common, and I want you to write about it in a descriptive way. Okay?